I'm Fryware. I'm a producer and DJ based in Tilburg, and I'm here to talk about what I do.
How did you get started as a DJ, and what got you involved into drum and bass in the first place?
How I got started as a DJ, I was already making music. I was producing music for a long time, and at some point I did do some live performances, and I got invited to do a DJ set at a pop-up store, clothing brand. 2 weeks before that, I learned how to DJ with Ableton. This was in 2019. Fast forward, in 2022, I dug deeper into drum and bass. I was already listening to it, but I didn't know a lot of people who are also listening to it and going to parties. But at some point, through people I knew, I got into a drum and bass party. I met the people there. I went to more drum and bass parties, and at some point they started booking me.
Well, you said you're from Tilburg, but what role has the Rotterdam community and Rotterdam events played in your development as an artist?
Rotterdam has been a very important city for my evolution as an artist. The Rotterdam scene was the first scene that I felt home at within drum and bass. Quickly after I started going to drum and bass parties, I met a lot of wonderful people all in Rotterdam, and they really welcomed me and made me feel part of the scene. So that also encouraged me to be there more often and to just hang out with people. I feel making music is very much a feedback loop. I make music, like making music is something you do at home, but the energy that I get at parties and from people, that feeds back into when I'm back at home making music, and that music gets back to people and then they give the energy back. So this is a cycle that keeps flowing constantly, and Rotterdam has been really, with its scene, has been really important in that.
You said that you were already making music before you started listening to drum and bass, or before you got into drum and bass. So how has your music evolved over the years? Like, what did you start making, and what are you making now?
I come from a very different musical background than you might expect. I grew up with having a lot of progressive rock, a lot of old school electronic music and some classical music around me. And at some point I discovered drum and bass. I've always felt like I wanted to combine as many of the styles of music that I liked, and I'm still on the path to doing that. Yeah, it's a continuous cycle. I keep it being like finding new sounds to be inspired by, and then every time I find a new sound, I will like find a way to incorporate it in my own music, and every time I get something new out of it. So it's like one small thing that I'm experimenting with, and then I make a whole bunch of music trying to fit it in. It's this amalgamation, this big blob of all different kinds of inspiration.
How would you describe your sound in 3 words?
Frying your brain.
Right. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Yeah. When you're playing sets, what is the one tune, and it doesn't have to be your own tune, but it can be for somebody else, but preferably your own, that always hypes up the crowd, that always catches like the right vibes when you play it, when people react to the way you want?
So the tune that consistently gets a reaction is Absolution, because I think it's also because it's a halftime tune. It sort of switches things up, and every time I play it, the crowd gets like so energetic, and I love it.
When you started doing drum and bass, which artists were like your biggest inspiration, your biggest influences when you first started out?
When I first started Fryware, I was mostly really inspired by Noisia, Black Sun Empire. It was also around the time that 𝗘𝗫𝗄𝗂 and the Caracal project were really getting big. So I feel like discovering those artists and the sound, the more experimental side of drum and bass, really what drew me in and made me want to explore the underground more, see more experimental artists.
So what tune are you listening to the most right now, which is like your FOF tune? I don't know.
Okay, like I can never answer like one tune,
Mhm.
one favorite tune, because every hour I have a new tune. Like every day I have a new obsession.
Mhm.
So I think the tune that I'm currently obsessed with is 𝗗𝗲𝗄𝗧, Look at the Trees, by 𝗘𝗫𝗣𝗟𝗂, Machine Drum, 𝗘𝗲𝗄𝗧 and Holly. They released their album, and I've seen 𝗘𝗫𝗣𝗟 and 𝗗𝗲𝗄𝗧 play a few times, and every time he closes with this tune that goes, "Fuck, it's a beautiful day." Yeah, it's super weird. It's a trip, but I think that's why I love it.
Is there anything exciting or new that's coming up in your professional life that you want to share with our good audience?
The end of this month, I have a new song dropping with Minnie on the vocals, and it's releasing on NCS. I can't tell much what's coming outside of that yet, but some on familiar labels that are released already, some on labels I haven't released yet. So, and I'm also working on a sample pack, but also gonna announce more on that later. My next release, Nobody Else, featuring Minnie, is coming out on NCS on 28th of October. Go check it out.
If you could do a back-to-back with any DJ, big or small, drum and bass or whatever, who would you pick?
Yeah, my dream back-to-back would probably be DJ Rum, but just to sit back and watch him do his thing.
Where do you see yourself as a DJ or as an artist in the upcoming years? Like, what has your short-term future? What does it hold for you?
With what I'm working on, expect the unexpected. Expect a lot of more drum and bass. Expect some non-drum and bass.
Okay, so to close it off, do you have anything you want to share with the good people of Explicit?
People need to be experimental. This sounds super cliche, but just like do what you feel you need to do. Don't feel pressure from other people, or just do your thing.